got me in my feelings.
Have you heard a little last track? It's actually not that bad.
Do you love me? Are you riding? Say you never ever leave from beside me.
Guys, welcome to another episode of Talk About It. It's been a long time.
Been on hiatus.
Yeah, you know, people busy and work and life and so on. But
Holidays and things.
holidays, a little bit of sickness. Can't really do a podcast if you're coughing and so on.
That's true.
So, there's a lot to talk about, boy. It's
been over a month.
Hasn't it?
But we've had the World Cup during this month.
What a good World Cup as well.
The best I've seen, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Congratulations to France. As much as you may not want to say it.
I mean, I'm not going to say it.
Congratulations to France.
I'm not going to say it. I think they're not a poor team. They play poor football. They have good players. I just don't think. I mean, whoever had won this World Cup, you would say, I'm not sure. You can't say they didn't deserve it because they got to the final and they won all those games. So if you win a tournament, you do deserve it.
Yeah.
But I'm used to something more. Like the French say, I'm used to some va-va-voom, and there was no va-va-voom at all.
I think Croatia, for me, probably were the best team.
Yeah.
But once they got past Argentina, even that was a little bit doubtful because there was never any points where they were dominant.
It was doubtful, but I think they played the most consistently better football.
Yeah.
They've got the players. Even though France have the big name players, I prefer to watch a Perisic and a Mandzukic and a Modric and a Rakitic personally. The players that Deschamps was playing with, it felt like three holding midfielders. You know, that's never going to be exciting.
I mean, I think they were very much set up for pace and
contention,
playing on the break. Which, you know, for me, like, football's football. There are better ways to play. There are worse ways to play. But whatever it is, it's still a way to play. So
yeah, and I just want to say, like, certain people that anytime you try to give your own opinion, just want to say that you're hating. Now, giving your opinion doesn't necessarily hating. I was trying to tell a man like John today was that for me, for me personally, I understand that people think I'm hating because he's used to seeing his Chelsea team win and play shit, right? Ugly. I say shit, right? Because as I told you, I'm a football snob, so I'm gonna say shit, right? So he's used to that. He won his Champions League, not deserve. Well, again, I'm not gonna say not deserving to win it, but scraping through every run and that. So that's what the Chelsea fans are used to. That might be what other fans are used to. Me, my first club, as you know, is Barcelona. Anytime apart from this season, La Liga, but most seasons we've won a trophy, we've played good football, better football than most teams. When Liverpool won the Champions League, eventually we won it playing good football. Okay, so we went to penalties, but the football that we produced in the second half to go back through three was good football. Yeah. When we almost won the Premier League, it was
outstanding football. But I don't really have a problem with negative approaches.
Yeah.
Because, like I say, there's many ways to win the game, and if you can't break down a defensive team, fair play to them.
And sometimes
what I think as well is, like, as much as there's an arrogance on some of the sides of, like, the more attractive footballing teams, there's also a lot of ignorance on the side of the team that don't play attractive football. Yeah. You hear this quite often when it's kind of like, it's just the results that matter. It's
exactly like
I want to be entertained when I play.
Exactly like for me, it's not bias. A lot of times for me, it's not bias. What it is, it's how you say, it's arrogance. Because even my national team has, you can argue, won playing good football. Yeah. And when we've gone below playing good football, we haven't won, as per the last 3 tournaments. I think. Do you know what I mean? So that's what I'm used to. I'm not used to. Like the teams that I support, if we're not playing 100%, we don't win. But for me, France didn't play 100% in any game to their ability. You know, they conform to the results, and that's it.
I think probably the closest they got to that 100% was Argentina.
And come on,
and
we can't even judge
that. That wasn't even the most
we can't even judge the Argentina result because Argentina will pants against everybody.
Yeah.
You know?
This is the thing. So there's a lot of there's a grey area.
Yeah, I respect that France have won the World Cup. Winning the World Cup is not easy. They have a young team. I think the centre backs are 24 or
average 24.
I mean, it's mental. Like it is mental. So I respect that they've won it. But as I mentioned to Mr. Philip Bento, for me, in my lifetime, this is no better than the Italy side in 2006.
I still think it's better than them.
I class it there.
That's a bit harsh.
No, that Italy side for me is the worst team I've seen. And not that they're bad, because I think what he thinks I'm saying is that they're bad, they're rubbish. Now, for me, the style of football is dead, as I say. I'm not saying that
the team itself is not.
The style of football is
just in terms of what sit down to watch.
Yeah, so Italy's bottom of that pile, and then I put France above.
I just feel like I'm going to be a little bit controversial myself as well, but the way everyone is just going crazy over Mbappe, when
he's an athlete.
He's strong. He's fast.
Do you know what?
Technique-wise, he's not bad. I won't give him that.
No.
But I just feel like your main reason for sitting and watching the player going, wow, is not or should not be that they can run in a straight line very quickly. Like, I'm sorry.
I'm going to be even more controversial. If my man was wearing a Senegal top, we'd say he's a typical African player.
Yeah, we'd be calling him Mane.
I was about to say he reminds me of Mane, but Mane maybe just developed a little bit later. For me, Mbappe is going to be potentially one of the best players for the next few years, and I think it's one of those that then the hype's going to die down. Someone else is going to, because I do not think he has football smarts, which is what you need to succeed in this modern age football.
While we're talking about talent for the next few years, someone who's not I'm going to say it now, and it will lead me on to firing my shots.
Okay.
But Rashford is not going to improve.
Oh, Rashford won't improve.
No, not even slightly. I think the level he's at now is the level he's going to be at pretty much permanently.
Rashford won't improve.
He will end up at a team like Everton, potentially or West Ham, something like that.
Lingard won't improve.
Lingard definitely will not improve. This is the thing, like, don't get me wrong, England did very well.
Amazing, yeah.
And it was nice to see a different approach and like a different kind of feeling within the country until everyone started coming up with this coming home nonsense, which pissed me off as an England fan. Like, when I'm seeing that, I'm just thinking, we've still got potentially 3 games to go before we get to
and they're planning parades, as Roy Keane said.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
people were planning
I think Roy was a little bit over the top.
But that's what Roy does. Me too.
That's what Roy Keane does.
I thought I was watching me.
That's what Roy Keane does, so I'm not going to be too fussed about it.
Yeah. One game and everyone was talking about the final.
What are you talking
the
about?
football's coming home. Go on, do your impression right.
We wasn't talking about the final like that. We were just having a laugh with you. The fact is, we were trying to just we were happy. You weren't happy for us being happy at that time. But I think that we were...
I don't mind you being happy, but you're like getting carried away. And I was right. You were planning the final, where the parades were.
No, we weren't.
You were talking about, you did a reality check.
No, we weren't.
My thing is like, man, when you're watching them just constantly always coming home, like, you got to play a lot more games before you even think about that, number one. Number 2, when you started to see people coming out after games, jumping on top of ambulances, and
it's crazy.
Right there, again, that was another thing that was like, do you know what? I kind of don't want us to win because of that kind of behaviour.
I was telling my workmates that I remember in 2010 when sort of Spain were getting through the rounds. I said to them, "Thing is, we had already won the Euros, and I still don't feel like we were cocky enough to feel like we were going to win the tournament because the honest truth is that we lost the first game. We scraped through against Chile, I think. Yeah, we scraped through against Chile. I think we finished second in the group, maybe just scraped first in the group. We went to penalties against Portugal. We scraped through against Paraguay.
Paraguay was a great game.
And I think we probably, had VAR been on, we may have been knocked out. And then against Germany, we bossed it. Okay, we really won 1-0, but we bossed them for the 90 minutes. And then against Holland, yes, you can arguably say it was a boring final, but I always maintain that was not Spain's fault.
Nah, we just look at the clock count.
If you watch the game, Mr. Bento, that was not Spain's fault. Spain tried to play ball.
They did well. Like I say, you could see like that was just a war.
Yeah,
That was a war.
you know.
was
So,
no
so
way.
I said to them, we didn't start to get excited. I remember I bought a ticket to go to Spain because I did believe they were going to win. So while I was in Spain, the country was excited. But I swear to you, we got to the final. Nobody went out the streets to celebrate.
But you know what? Like,
until the final. Until the
this
final.
is what I'm saying, like, but it's just like.
But here they were just gassed.
Everyone's all excited, and it's like I know they had Gary Lineker talking about how it's coming home wasn't us saying it was coming home. It's kind of like a tongue in cheek. Things like no, it was not. I'm sorry.
Look,
there was definitely a portion of people that were saying it in a kind of tongue in cheek way, but there were a whole lot of people that were out there really believing that shit.
And
get excited by all means.
And
start
for
to
me,
think about the potential, but
yeah, and for me, like I was telling John that the England teams that I grew up on, I was shook of them. Like when I used to go to tour when I see Spain, I'm like, I don't want to cross it. I don't want to face England. I didn't want to face England at any point. You know, when you think that England had Gerrard, Scholes, and Lampard in the same generation, even if Scholes was a little bit older, that you had Sol Campbell, Terry, and Ferdinand active at the same time. Do you know what I mean? When you had Ashley Cole, even Gary Neville was not a bad right back. When you had, for me, maybe this is controversial, but Pete Kane is not better than Pete Rooney. I'm sorry. For me, he's not, in my honest opinion.
I think it's going to sound a bit harsh because he ended up winning the Golden Boot. But
scored 3 penalties.
He did fuck all, mate.
Scored 3 penalties.
You know what? He was a passenger pretty much throughout the knockout rounds.
He scored 3 penalties.
Because they wanted to, they gave him the captaincy. I don't remember what there was a fuss about, but for some reason there was a fuss and they brought him into the team and gave him captaincy.
Yeah.
I think it was because it wasn't like some kind of negative comment about him on Twitter or something.
I don't know.
And they kind of had to backtrack a little bit. Whatever it was, I just think personally, he was a little bit
he was rubbish.
Ineffective.
He was rubbish.
Ineffective.
He scored three penalties. Look, England did amazing, right? Let's not kid ourselves. They did amazing. And again, when you give your honest opinion, when things are going well, people just say you're hating. I was just stating facts. Now these kids, they beat Tunisia barely. They smashed Panama, that, as Rio Ferdinand said, looked like a non-league team that day. And they lost against Belgium, right?
Yeah.
Which, I mean, you can argue that they did the right thing to fill the crappy side. But as Seth sort of pointed out, in the Euros, when we won it, we knew that we could fill the weak team, but we still fielded a good team, and then we faced France in the next stage. We just took it, full stop. So I think you should try and finish top of your group because that's the whole point. But fair play to them. Then they just about beat Colombia. Okay, they did play better than them. Fair enough. They played well against Sweden. I didn't watch it, as you know, but I heard that they played well against Sweden. The second time they play a team that's supposedly better than them. So the first team was Belgium, and then it was Croatia. What happened?
See, but then in that situation, I think it was just the winning goal was just a complete lack of concentration. So like, I think England did well. You can only beat the teams out there in front of you.
Of course.
It's a big kind of degree of when teams play England, they're a little bit more like because they don't want to lose that game, which is understandable. But yeah, Lingard, I still don't understand how he's in the team. But I'm really quite honest. I'm sorry. And this is where it comes again to a little bit of bias. There are certain people in this world.
Man, you need to name
certain people in this world. I'm going up to it. That just can't see beyond
their club colours.
Their club colours or whatever the general line is from the media.
Yeah.
And like I said, like I've got to shout out Tommy, but we've got to fire the shots.
Yeah.
He's a good example. He's a very good example. We've had so many discussions, especially over the course of the last season, where it's just been the United sunglasses are on, and in that conversation, he's always, when you kind of counter their opinion, it's bias, it's cop bias, it's typical Liverpool fan, and I'm like, no, I've said for years like. Scholes was a player that was amazing. Any team would take him 100% happily. Today, in one of our discussions, I was saying like, I would happily take Matic. Matic is a good player. I will take him tomorrow. what he's trying to tell me is that, oh, you told me you wouldn't take Pogba. Now, I think Pogba has
But it's about opinions as well, though.
It is about opinions, but it's just like, it's about midway through the season, we were having a conversation about players and Coutinho not being worth the money that he was sold for, which I agree with. But I'm like, he's worth more than Pogba was when you signed him.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, Pogba's been outstanding up to this point in the season.
Pogba was not outstanding.
Pogba was not. Pogba was around about average.
Look, yeah,
around about average.
I'm gonna take a
Then he got injured and didn't play too many games, and he came back and started creeping back in again. So
what I want to ask Tom is, do you even have Sky?
You have to ask him, isn't it? I'm sure he does.
No, he don't.
Okay, fair enough.
I know he don't have Sky. So how are you judging a man's season on Match of the Day? On a Match of the Day, they're laying into him.
And then they show highlights. So there's that. But for me, it's just kind of that I saw such a great post. It was something that I don't remember where I sent it, but I'll probably delete it because it makes space on your phone. But it was more towards the end of the season when they had a stat of the goals and assists Coutinho had contributed compared to Pogba and two other players. And he was still out in the lead in April when he left in January.
The thing as well, though, is like...
Do you know what I mean? And you're telling me that Pogba's had an outstanding season and he's been at least as good as Coutinho.
He's been very good in the World Cup, the latter stages, because this is what people this is what I don't understand. People are going to chat about France. France were awful in the group stages. Mm-hmm. They were good the second half against Argentina.
Mm-hmm. Again, I agree.
Will they forget that they conceded 3 goals against that poor Argentina side? Mm-hmm. And I don't even know who they played next. Don't know who they played next. But they were decent the next game. They were okay against Belgium. Belgium Belgium have Lukaku up front. That's the issue. Lukaku, who's a Man United fan, player, Tom. Lukaku plays against a good team and he's disappeared. We all know this about him.
Yeah.
Against the small teams, my man was, I'm here. Against the big teams...
And it's something he does for United as well.
Mouse. Quiet. So that's who France had. So then they were relying on Hazard and De Bruyne to do something. And as I've been kind of trying to say for many years, and this World Cup finally, which I want to get to that after, but this World Cup finally, I think people are understanding, is no matter how good players are, they're not going to win a World Cup all by themselves.
No.
It's not going to happen. Messi and Ronaldo proved that.
Yeah.
Like, Ronaldo single-handedly saves Portugal against Spain. Any other day, potentially, that game would have finished 3-1 to Spain. That day, my man was inspired and De Gea was somewhere. Yeah, was somewhere. That he wasn't inspired all tournament, though. But, and then he scored against Morocco, but Morocco outplayed Portugal. Morocco outplayed Portugal. He scored early, and then Portugal would just try and survive. And then in the last game, he was disappeared. Because players like Messi and Ronaldo, they can have consecutive good games, but we forget they just played 60 games. So maybe at the beginning of the season, we can see them having a run of 10 games where they're scoring 2 goals or 3 goals every game. But it can't happen when you're in June and July. And that's what happened. So what I wanted to... Because for a very long while, you all fooled me. I'm going to say you all fooled me. You all fooled me into actually... I was actually starting to believe that Ronaldo had won the Euros for Portugal because...
No, he didn't.
No, hold on. I put all of you in the same basket because...
I think he didn't play in the final.
Yeah. But you had all fooled me that if he didn't play in the final, that I knew that because obviously I was watching it. But you all fooled me into believing that then he must have taken Portugal...
tucking the goals in.
Yeah, but that's what people were trying to make me believe because everyone said, but Ronaldo's won something with Portugal. Yeah, but man was just a passenger. So then I had to do my homework. I had to see, let me look at this Euro. So he scored in the group stage, and then he scored in the semi-final. He scored 3 goals in total. Griezmann scored 6. Nani scored 3, and Eder scored the winning goal for Portugal. How did my man win for Portugal? But that's what people use against Messi and Ronaldo. Oh, but at least Ronaldo's won with it. Yeah, but he didn't lead them to it.
But the thing is, it does ignore the performances of the player, and he was good in that tournament.
Absolutely, yes. But then it also ignores the performances of a Messi that was in 3 consecutive international finals with Argentina. Do you know what I mean? So it's
the thing is, there's always going to be a degree when it comes to the whole debate.
I'm biased. I admit with this, I'm biased. I like Messi because I just don't like Ronaldo's person. That's literally
and it's the Real Madrid and Barcelona.
No, but the thing is, no, because I always say, see, this is where I think that people always take a genuine just opinion to hatred. No, I will say that Zidane is one of my favorite players of all time. He played for Real Madrid. He scored probably until Bale. Probably the best goal in CL final history. No, I prefer Bale's. But
really?
Yeah, I do. One of the best teams that I remember seeing is the Galacticos in my era. So no, I appreciate that team. Like Redondo and Guti, I thought was great, and Raul. I liked them. So it's not that. It's just that I genuinely don't like him. I genuinely just don't like him. I don't like his arrogance. But it's the same in tennis. Like I appreciate Federer, but I know that it's just arrogant to me. Do you know what I mean? So I just don't like it. I like humility, even if it's false humility.
Who won the men's final, by the way?
Djokovic, of course. Yeah, we were watching the tennis yesterday. Yeah. Fucking that down. But so the World Cup was won by France.
It was, and
congrats to the Frogs.
Let's remember, we're gonna signal it at 21 minutes and 25 seconds.
Yeah. Just
so we can tell people what to avoid, basically later on. If you want to avoid it. Now, one thing I will say, which is football related, which is not football related. Let me pull up the post. So I saw this.
I'll put it up as well.
I saw this shared by, surprise, more feminist leaning people on Facebook, on Twitter, and so on, and shared by those kind of people. And I don't like to comment on things normally, so I tend to just leave it alone.
You don't like to comment on things?
No.
I thought you were into commenting.
No, I just don't have the energy to argue with people.
Oh, fair enough.
But with this one, it was, and funny enough, the woman actually did reply when I fired the first shot, but she since removed her comments.
Call her out.
Yeah, I'll call that. So, Mummy's Gin Fund coming up with a nice little meme thing, because obviously with the World Cup it was a lot made of it being 28 years since England last got to a World Cup semi-final, and she's come out with a little post saying actually it's not 28 years since England were in the semi-final of the World Cup, it's only 3, it's just been 28 years since the men managed it, and then #JustSaying, #Girl Power.
Okay.
Now, my first problem with this is I'm watching a tournament for men's football.
Yeah.
It's not the Olympics where you have the men and women running simultaneously, so that you watch one event, you've got the women's event that follows, or whatever. The Women's World Cup is not until next year?
I'm going to lie to you. I don't know, right? And I don't care.
I'm going to assume if it was 3 years since they got to the last semis, it would be a 4-year gap between for them as well.
Yeah.
So I'm just assuming, right?
Yeah.
So the point there being, they don't run the same year, they don't run at the same time. So if I'm sitting and watching the men's game, why would I take into account what the women have done when I'm watching the men's game? It makes no sense to me. So that's, straight off the bat, I don't understand that. If you have a women's sport and you compare what they've done to the men's, you get a whole lot of shit and backlash from it, because it's like, can't you just give the women their chance to shine and so on and so forth, which is understandable. It's fair enough because we're watching the women's game.
Yeah.
So you should afford the same level of, respect to the men's game when we're talking about the men's football as we're watching the men's World Cup. So it's a bit of a reach to kind of try and display sexism or whatever it might be.
Yeah, exactly.
And a lot of these women were very empowered, like, this is a very important comment that people are making. Like,
I mean, it's they want to look. Feminists wake up and want to argue with themselves. Full stop. Like, they knew what people meant.
They knew, but they wanted to take it up.
You know what people mean when they're saying it's been 28 years since England made it to the final. As you pointed out, this is a men's tournament. So clearly we're referring to men's team.
Yeah, exactly. And to highlight the fact even more so, because I commented on a friend of mine's post on Facebook, I was like, look, it's 28 years for this reason. I'm like, and if you're trying to say that football is football and doesn't matter, then whoever created this post conveniently omitted the fact that England under 17s and under 20s both won the World Cup last year.
Yeah.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
So it hasn't been 3 years since the women got there. It's
So it's
actually
ages
been
in there.
less than a year.
So that ages in?
Yeah, exactly. So it's been less than a year since the England team actually got there, and it should be hashtag what? Kid power? I'm not even.
We've said it before. Any type of ism
Mm.
is just a cancer.
Yep, 100%.
It's just a cancer.
100%.
People live in an era where they want to be easily offended by every single
And
thing.
this is what, you know, I thought ahead in it. So that when I logged on, I saw that the woman, our mummy, Jennifer, has replied back. Because I told her we were going to talk about it on the podcast.
Yeah.
And she was displayed an interest in wanting to listen to it. Before I had a chance to actually go on and actually respond to
I
it,
didn't see any of her comments.
I logged in and she removed her comments.
Okay.
One of the comments was basically saying, she wasn't aware of the fact that the under 20s or under 17s hadn't won the World Cup.
But you were made aware, so remove your
So
post.
number one, you were made aware. But number two, what it showed me there was you were quick to do the research and check when the women did something to make your point, but you weren't that thorough to really make sure that everything was in line.
You gotta do your homework.
And the problem is, you put this out there, and then people jump on it and start, using it as a reason to display the sexism in the world and so on.
Internet has no shame.
Internet has no shame, and it's just very quick to just sweep shit under the rug. So my thing is there, like, you have to be a little bit more. If you're going to try and make a point, you've got to be smart and you've got to be, accountable for the information you're going to put out. So if you want to make a point, make sure you do your research first and make sure that you're aware of exactly what it is that you're trying to explain, and just be upfront about it.
I mean, look, she could have said, why doesn't the country make a big fuss over women's football reaching the finals or whatever, or the semi-finals? And that would have been like a fair point. A fairish point. Fairish point. But to post that up, look, do you know what? I ain't got no time.
Basically, the point.
Next, we gotta talk about man of the moment. Jeez!
Oh, you're playing some music for it as well. I hate this track. Actually, no, I don't really hate it. I hate the
Kiki, do you love me?
Are you riding?
So, Bruno, you're a dinosaur when it comes to hip hop music.
Do you know what?
Don't you know what me? You are a dinosaur when it
Listen,
comes to
what
hip
I'm
hop.
going to say is, I have been known to be a bit of a dinosaur. I'm not going to lie. However,
But that's not a bad thing. That's
that's
what
just
you like.
preference.
That's what you
But
like.
I do have Spotify, and I have been diversifying a little bit.
So I'm gonna call you out right here as well.
So,
I'm gonna call you out in this segment anyway.
Feel free. But so I've been listening to more things.
Yeah.
And I've
Your take on Scorpion. How many times did you listen to it?
That's 20 odd tracks on there.
Okay. That wasn't the question. How many times?
That's
did
a
you
lot to listen to. For me, look, I put it on, and I let it play.
Okay.
I was not gonna be one of these people that's like, and this is the thing, and I think I know you're gonna call me out on, and I'm gonna preempt it. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't hate Drake.
I wasn't gonna call you out.
I don't dislike.
call you out.
I don't dislike Drake in any way.
I was gonna call you out on something else.
Okay, I'm getting to that.
Okay.
So, my thing is like, if you express a dislike for something,
Yeah.
as I found here was like, I got 12 to 14 tracks in before I had to go out anyway.
Okay.
And none of them stood out for me.
That's absolutely fine.
It's just, for me, it's an album you put on and you do some shit and you don't pay attention to.
Yeah.
Which is fine. That's not a problem. But like, if I'm looking for like, the amount of streams this has got and people saying, oh, this is like one of the best albums of all time because of that
no
reason.
one's saying that.
There's some people that are
Nobody's saying
the numbers are saying it. Basically,
The numbers are saying that he is the most listened to artist of this generation. Right? However, this is what I want to call you up on. You sort of messaged me for the first time 4 tracks into a double disc album to tell me you weren't impressed. Now, we grew up in the 90s.
Yeah.
Where we didn't call nobody 4 tracks into a CD to tell them I love this album, or I'm not impressed.
We haven't got...
Hold on.
We ain't have no mobile phone back then.
Hold on.
Okay.
You also mentioned how you feel like social media or people's behaviour has sort of negatively influenced how we sort of relate to music. Not in those words.
Yes, but basically,
But like that. But in a way, you are also doing that by messaging me 4 tracks in after maybe reading the hype.
It might be.
To tell me that
but
you're not
you know
impressed.
what? The thing is,
I don't know.
I didn't read any hype.
Okay,
I just saw the album drop.
I'm just saying, you use social media because WhatsApp is a form of social media. So it is. It's you can do Snapchat stories and shit. So now it's a form of social media. So therefore,
loose form.
It still is. You messaged to me 4 tracks into a double disc album that you were not
impressed. It could
impressed.
have been 6.
You told me 4.
Alright, but
I just going back. What's on black and white?
Whatever it was, whatever number it was, what I said to you was, so far,
and then hold on.
It wasn't you directly. I messaged the group.
Hold on a second, because at that point, right? Because I haven't spoke to any about it. Man had listened to both sides, A and B, already twice, and I still hadn't said that in the group because I was still trying to digest the album. And then before I even had an opinion, because I don't know if you're about, I didn't even put an opinion fold on it. I was just sort of countering what you were saying. You're telling me it's that I'm a fanboy when I hadn't even professed an opinion.
To be fair, I was just
trolling. Yeah, I knew you were trolling, but still,
I was trolling. But
look,
all good trolling comes to an extent.
But the problem is that it's sort of pandemic now because of social media, where if you really like an artist, you're dick riding or you're fangirling or fanboying, and it's sometimes what we gotta really understand is that certain artists just make music for you. Do you know what I mean? For me, for example, I know there's a lot of people that aren't that impressed. Look, a double album, I've seen a lot of video essays and sort of read reviews. Double albums are generally risky things to do. Most hip hop fans say the only 2 good ones are Wu-Tang Clan, Biggie, and Tupac. I've not heard them, right? So that shows you already the level of hip hop fan that I am, right? I am an R&B fan, right? And I started listening to hip hop a bit later on in life. And what my man did is combine both. So automatically, I am his audience.
Yeah.
Whatever he does, I'm going to be his audience. Now, with Scorpion, you still ain't heard no critique from me. Keep in mind that I'm supposed to be a fanboy. You still ain't heard no critique from me because
that was true, to be fair. But
you still ain't heard no critique from me because as a double disc album that already you see 25 tracks, which is just done for streaming purposes.
Yeah.
Full stop. You already know it's not going to be very good, right? It's not that it's not very. It's what you need to do with a double album is create your own album. So one of the first things that I did after listening to it twice is I created a 15-track playlist.
I was about to say 12 to 15 tracks. See,
and I created the perfect Scorpion, and there's tracks there that I think are a very good quintessential Drake. So
then share that playlist with me.
Absolutely.
But but going back to your point, because I was just trolling.
Yeah.
But there's a massive degree of agreement there in terms of if you like someone, you're dick riding. If you don't like someone, you're hating. Now, like I say, 100% you have to agree with that because there's a lot of that. But at the same time, when you're looking at certain kind of portions of society,
some people are,
and it's a lot now. It's very like I said, very sycophantic the way things go on now. Where if you do say something, like say you're on the hating side of it, but there's no room for conversation. I can't just say to you, well, actually, I've listened to this album, and for me personally, as much as it's probably a little bit more of a boring album in a lot of ways. I mean, not the Drake one. The J. Cole's last album was pretty decent.
But for example,
that's a difference in opinion.
Exactly. So J. Cole's album is going to appeal to you because J. Cole is more of a classic rapper, right?
But
I listened to his album and I was bored out of my tits.
This is what I'm saying. To be fair, there's like I said, it's more boring.
Yeah.
You would never put any of those tracks on at a club.
No.
You would not put that track on when you with your boys out, having a barbecue or whatever.
Yeah.
You're gonna skip past that, which is fine. So just in terms of like what the kind of lyrical content is, that's a little bit of a difference. But it's just for me now, when you're a fan of something, to a certain degree, objectivity goes out the window. Whatever they put out, you're gonna ride with it no matter what.
But
and I just don't like that.
Yeah.
I don't class myself as a hater in terms of, like I said, like, as much as I'm not a fan of that last track, at the same time it is catchy. I'm not gonna lie. So it does kind of get you a little bit.
You see,
so I don't hate.
But I think that personally, what I think is that music has always been like that. It's, for example, it doesn't matter what Michael Jackson would release. People that are Michael Jackson fans would go out and try and buy that album or listen to it. For example, the last posthumous, I don't know, so but after they died albums, posthumous albums.
Yeah.
I gave them a listen. I didn't like Rush, but I gave him a listen because I am a Michael Jackson fan.
Yeah.
And I tried my hardest to like him. There's a couple tracks that I really did like. But maybe some people would say, yeah, but this ain't peak Michael. No, it's not peak Michael. But I can still like it.
Appreciate
you know what I mean? This is not peak Drake.
No,
but within that, for example, In My Feelings, for me, it's potentially top 10 Drake tracks.
Because that can happen. Like I said, like,
but it's not
when we were talking back about Justin Timberlake's last album, and for the most part, it's forgettable.
Yeah.
But then you got that track Say Something, which for me is up there with
one of his
best. And when you go back to listen to that album again, I'm kind of like, you know what? Actually, there's a good 4, 5, maybe 6 tracks. I'm like, yeah, I can play that.
The album's not terrible.
It's not terrible, but it's just what you expected of that person.
Yeah.
See, but this is the thing I don't get. It's like people from certain eras have an expectation attached to them that people from other eras don't.
Yeah.
So Drake can put out a 20-odd track album, which is, for the most part, background.
Yeah.
We have a few good tracks in here and there and so on. And it's kind of like, the response is, this is lit, the world stops for
But
Drake.
you know why it's lit? Yeah, but you know
like,
why it's lit? This is what I'm trying to explain. It's lit because we live in an era where, for example, people like me and Anthony, who are R&B fans and who kind of started to like hip hop later, he's our generation. He's 31 years old.
Yeah, but his music coming out was at a different time.
Yeah, but what I mean is, he tapped into that sort of market that's suited to us. And then at a time where hip hop and R&B became popular music. So the kids at 18 and 12 and 14 are not listening to Green Day like they were when we were 12, 13 and 14.
No.
They're listening they're listening to R&B and hip hop. And he's tapping into a popish kind of sound of R&B and hip hop. So it's not. So he is going to be lit for these people. He is at times brave enough to try different things with Afro beats and
no. And the thing is, like I say,
stuff like that.
I can come across as a bit of a hater sometimes, partly because I do just like to troll a bit here and there. But like I say, for me, it's the thing is like, if you think something is amazing, fine, that's good. You can feel that. But when someone expresses like, you know what, it's not really for me. Yeah,
but the thing is,
step back.
Yeah, for me, it's I don't care if someone says it's not for me. I think it's you can say it's not for me. For example, when it comes to anything artistic, ever since I started like making films and stuff, I go away from saying something is shit, for example, or it's trash or whatever. That's where I'm like, actually, you can't say that.
Yeah,
because nothing is trash. What is,
as long as someone out there likes it.
Yeah, exactly. It might not be for you, which is fine, but you can't turn around and say this is trash.
No, but like I said, the problem you have is like a lot of the younger generations don't have that information.
Yeah.
As far as they're concerned, if you say I'm not a fan of something, you're automatically a hater. You're not giving it the chance that it deserves. There's so many reasons behind why it's
I think what it is when someone gets to a certain level, because Drake is at that level now, it becomes a question of why wouldn't you? For example, if you come across someone who says, I don't like Michael Jackson, not that I'm comparing them both, but he is that popular at this time, you think, well, why wouldn't you? Or, for example, when I go out to drinks with someone that I meet for the first time, and I say I don't really drink, are you Muslim?
Yeah.
There must
There's always a list of questions with it,
Yeah, so it's that. It's like I was telling someone, I'm over Beyonce. Like, I'm over Beyonce. I'm not checking for Beyonce like that too much. Like, I don't care. Why? Do you know what I mean? It's normal. It's because they're so big and so popular that if you don't like them,
then there's something wrong with you, basically. Which is fair enough, but then, like, I say, a big thing that is really just ignored is so the idea of it's the most streamed, the most played. I'm like, do you know what? Fine, fair enough.
Yeah, doesn't make it amazing.
The first thing you have to remember is it's a lot easier to access music now.
Yeah.
Anyone can do it, and anyone can do it for free. You don't even have to pay for this anymore. Like Spotify, you can get for free. You just have to, was it 30 minutes of tracks, and you get one advert.
However,
so that plays into it.
Yeah.
There's just physically more people now
that
are actually able to access and listen to things. Either A, because they have the technology to do so, or B, just because there's more people in the world alive at this age now that they can access certain things. They don't take into account the people that wore out their old cassette tape because listened to it so many times. No. How many streams of that?
No, I 100% agree, but I think regardless of all that, that's where you have to give credit to certain artists that are being streamed so much, because Spotify or Apple Music, whatever it is you use, it's like anything else now. I compare it to a dating app. There is so much choice that actually the easy thing is to not listen to Drake, because I go into hold on a second.
No, I'm listening.
You go into Spotify and the first thing I can come up with is, you probably get it as well, is
your
do you know what I mean? Obviously, when he released his album, we know what happened, that his face was splattered everywhere.
Yeah.
But that's the first time that it happened. Even before that, because it was an advertisement, before Spotify advertised this album, they didn't advertise it because Apple Music had his rights. He was still the most listened to artist. So it's like,
do you know what?
I come in and I can have like a playlist, my daily mix to discover new tracks.
But this is the thing that I would always counter that with.
Yeah.
It's the same as Netflix, where you have so much choice. You're not really sure what you want to watch or what you listen to, and you always end up going back to the same stuff because you know it. So you know you're a fan of Drake. You're going to skip past your daily mix. You're going to put on Drake. So he gets to stream because you're confident.
But I'll counteract that with the thing that I listen to the most is my own playlist. Right? Yeah. Which I think a lot of people listen to their own playlist the most. And there's not that much Drake in this playlist.
Yeah, no, but I mean, but the thing is that especially if it comes to a point where he's got a new album coming out, you're going to go and check it out anyway. Yeah. Like, to the point that I'm not a quote unquote Drake fan, but when it came out, I'm like, let me listen. Same way I listened to Pusha T when that came out. Same way I listened to Kanye's when that came out. Same way I listened to J. Cole when that came out. Like, I'm actually thinking, you know what? I'm going to check and just listen to these albums and see what it's saying. So I'm not just that typical dinosaur.
Did you like Pusha T?
I thought it was alright.
Okay.
I thought it was alright. Kanye's...
I didn't like... I liked Kanye's when I first heard it. I haven't checked for it again. The first listen, I was like, okay. There's some nice old... It's alright. I think it's Pusha T's album I really liked, but that being said, I haven't checked for it.
Other than the week it came out, where I probably listened to it about 2 or 3 times. Yeah. I haven't really gone back to it. Yeah. What I do tend to go back to is I know a bit more, like the playlist that I'm used to listening to, or the albums that I've already listened to before. Yeah. So people go for familiarity, which is, there's nothing wrong with that. So my thing is that it's going to sound a bit harsh, but numbers do lie.
I don't think they... Look,
numbers do lie.
I don't think they lie that much. I think that there's something to be said.
Or they mislead. Yeah.
I think there's something to be said because, for example, for a week, J Balvin was the most listened artist in the world, stream-wise. Are his numbers lying? Because he's not that a familiar act. No, but when it comes to characters that are so popular like Drake, and there's such a, love-hate, because there's a huge love-hate for Drake. Those people that are on the fence, or not so much on the fence, the numbers are lying. But for J Balvin, everybody's like, "Rah, that's amazing! That a Latin artist is the most listened to in the world." Or
Yeah, but then the reason
what's
for
going on
that
there?
is, again, it's
What's going on there then?
Again, it's like I say, you're gonna look at the way people are fans these days, and they're gonna you'll put on that. I'm sure there's people that put on this album and just left it playing from 1 to 20 and just on loop.
Because
right?
you have to listen to the album.
But there's a difference between say what you've done, which is listen to it, not really sure, listen to it again, pick out the ones that you like, and then go from there. There are a lot of people that are just gonna be like, press play. Oh shit, this is Drake. Next album. Oh shit, this is Drake, and they're gonna just buy into it no matter what it is that's actually coming through the speakers.
It could be, but I'd argue that, for example, that Anthony's a Drake fan.
Yeah.
He's not feeling the album. Emma's a Drake fan. She's not feeling the album. A lot of people that I know are hardcore Drake fans have said, "I'm not sure about this album." So what I'm saying is that it's not just that he's keeping his fans; it's that he's bringing in new ones. So that I think there is a lot to be said, and keep in mind that this is a guy that took an L. Let's not forget that he took a big L.
Do you know what he did? But we know it's not
he took the W, to be honest.
But because like I say, look, he's in an era now where this shit don't mean nothing.
No,
it doesn't, man. You can take the L when you get to a certain level.
Yeah.
You can take it. You can take it and carry on moving, and that's it.
Yeah, and I think
that's fair. And to be honest, that's how it should work. Anyway.
Yeah, whether the numbers are a lie or not, the numbers have come out, and I think the numbers have kind of just made people forget about Pusha T winning.
Well, because because again, there's that, and it's also because
plus people my feelings, isn't
it? But there's that, and it's like people got short memories.
Yeah,
and the music we have nowadays.
Yeah,
fits into that. So he can release this track, and then everyone's doing their little dances, jumping out of cars. And
track money, hey, got me in my feelings. Gotta be real with it. Hey Kiki, hey, you love me. Hey, riding? Hey, hey,
I gotta get you to do the challenge.
You can try if you want, but that's the kind of thing that people all of a sudden this is the latest. It's a bit of a thing to jump on, and you forget about it. And I think
I rate him for the way he turns things around.
Oh, listen, for me, like I say, I don't actually hate on the guy.
Oh no, that's fine.
I'm not a fan of his music, but there's still certain tracks that I'm cool with. So I'm not against it at all. So for me, look, I
gotta take it to a Drake concert.
I mean, listen. Who knows? Maybe one day. But you never know. But no, look, the guy, he's regardless of what I think of his music, you cannot argue that he's got a talent, because at the end of the day, if you can find something and market it to people and they take it and they buy it,
he's
that's it. You're a talent. That's it. So you can't say shit. But what I do think is a little bit more kind of a display of how the world is now is this whole this shit with Kylie Jenner.
Good, but if you're born on third base and you hit a home run, you're not really self-made.
That's not true.
But that's not how true. I feel.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, I wanted to discuss that. I forgot to mention it.
Now,
what's your take on it?
Now, my take again is it's gonna be a little bit different in terms of this woman has made $900 million.
Okay.
I think half to that.
Yeah.
You can say whatever the fuck you want to say, right? About anything in terms of background or whatever. You still have to put the product out there for people to buy.
People are saying that she appropriated in order to.
You know what? And if she did,
look,
well done to you for making your money.
Hit the play and hit the game.
Don't hit the player.
Exactly.
Don't hit the player.
Exactly.
So for me, it's look, you make your money, make your money.
Yeah.
The only thing I didn't like about it was self-made.
She's not self-made yet.
You are not in the slightest.
I mean, she said in the article that she had $250,000 to kickstart the business. You can't be self-made.
Risk-free.
Yeah.
It's not a loan that you're gonna have to pay back.
Yeah.
It's family money.
Yeah.
And again,
You're not self-made with $250,000.
But even if you were, you know, someone that was like, I'm gonna go to a bank and I'm gonna present them this idea, and they're like, do you know what? We can see that working. We'll give you that money. Then you can say you're self-made because you strolled up. You had this idea. You're like, pow, done. There's an element of risk involved.
Of course.
With her,
there was no risk.
There's no risk because at the end of the day, she'd already made herself into a brand, as the whole family has done. So basically, at the end of the day, you have a name behind you, you have a following behind you, and as we know, especially young people, because this is what young people do, you latch on to stuff that you fuck with.
Yeah.
So she could put out whatever, and as long as it's not completely poor quality, people can pick it up.
Like I said, there's a lot to be said for how she's marketed it, how successful it's been. I think we would have never thought that she'd be the richest Kardashian. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, oh no.
So
definitely not.
I say kudos to her.
Like I say,
however, she's not a self-made billionaire.
No, that's what I'm saying. Not
Oprah is a self-made billionaire.
Oprah is a self-made billionaire. 100%.
I don't know about Bill Gates, but
I mean, he had to build up some stuff.
Yeah.
And there's always going to be a degree of, you know, backstabbing and so on. But for me, it's just like this idea that, she did it all herself.
Tyler Perry, I think, is a billionaire.
Is he? Fast. Wait, them Medea movies?
They are making money.
I ain't even seen one.
I think he might be a billionaire.
Boy.
He's self-made. But
see, but it's a difference. Like, just because someone isn't self-made doesn't take away from their achievement.
No, but you just have to take that first word off it. You know, maybe you can say the youngest billionaire this year or something, whatever.
Just say, look, she made $1 billion.
Yeah.
That's it. What you got to do. And this, for me, the most annoying part of it was, do you see the Kickstarter that got started for it?
About?
Kylie Jenner fans were upset that she wasn't a literal billionaire because she'd only made 900 something million.
Oh, come on.
So they were
She's probably going to make that next year.
So no, we need to get people to basically contribute to get her over that line as a billionaire.
You see, this is what I don't. This is the part that I don't understand about modern society, is that when it comes to supporting a celebrity, people are there. You know, Rihanna's released makeup and a lingerie line. These people are there. I'm gonna call out my cousin. She wanted to go pay 40 quid for a fucking Rihanna bra. Man puts a crowdfunding campaign. Tumbleweed. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of like, how does you helping a celebrity as opposed to your own people who you can potentially see grow, make you feel any better? See, but this is the thing, because it comes down to that level of fandom, and that's why I say it's different. Like, don't get me wrong, the DNA is the same. Yeah. So the way we've been seeing people pass out at Michael Jackson concerts, going way back. Yeah, of course. You know, just Rolling Stones, Beatles, whoever. The fact that to this day there are still people walking across Abbey Road, posing on that zebra crossing. Well, that's a different level of fandom, I think. It tells you a lot about it. But the thing we have now, because you do have social media to connect people, they can all be put into a little bubble. Create a cult almost. Because it's all like all these comments about how, you know, amazing everything is, just bounce back and forth, and it builds up and it builds up. So the way it's evolved is obviously way bigger than we'd expect it to have done, because we never really saw that sort of thing coming. Yeah, that's why I think social media has been one of the best and worst things that ever happened, because it empowers people that occasionally you shouldn't really be empowering. I don't understand the level. I don't understand the level of fandom. As we've just discussed, like I'm a big fan of Drake. He's opened an OVO store in Soho. I've never rushed to go there because I want a fucking owl on my chest. But the thing is that people will queue up outside because it's Drake. Yeah. And it shows that they're part of. They fuck with their hero, or it might be. I mean, I've started to not be big on carrying brands anyway. So for me, it's not something that I do. But fair enough if that's what you're into. It's just what you do. But again, for me, it's just it does give you an idea of like just how everything's changed in terms of just the way people digest stuff, the way they react to things, the way they interact with each other, and it's just
ballooned into this monster of a...
Yeah. Talking about interaction.
Yeah.
I think it was just to close off.
Yeah.
These fucking questions on Instagram.
Do you know what, yeah?
I think it is the most self-absorbed bullshit I've seen in a while.
Do you know what's actually quite funny?
I don't find any of it funny.
No, I'll tell you what it is, right? There's a reason I put up on myself today. And I explain it to you now. I can see you looking very...
I'm not...
quizzical. So, I've got 4 accounts on Instagram.
Okay.
A lot of people have really 4. Yeah. So I've got obviously my PT one.
Yeah.
My own personal one.
Yeah.
We've got the podcast one.
Yeah.
And I've got one with the
asylum thing, yeah.
Yeah. So I've got those 4, right? Now, the one that I want the questions for is my PT one.
Yeah,
so I can literally put that up and people can ask me questions about fitness or whatever and I can reply to them.
Yeah.
Of all the accounts I've got on my phone, the only one that hasn't been given the question feature is my PT one.
Oh, okay.
The rest of them do. So I'm like,
okay.
There must be something wrong with that. If I can post it on one, maybe it will let me post it on another. So I went and tried that, got back over, it didn't happen.
Look.
So it's a little bit like...
Fair enough. I'm just seeing a lot of dickheads posting, ask me a question. The fuck? Who do you think you are exactly?
Yeah. Like I say, like for me, like I've got...
These people that are so-called influencers.
See, because I don't
It's
I don't in the slightest consider myself an influencer. On my personal Instagram, I don't even know how many people I've got on there following me, like 200. And I'm not actively trying to get more.
Yeah.
It's just I barely even use it.
I don't know. I just don't understand. I mean, everybody's just jumping on this self-absorbed bandwagon. Like, fuck off. Like, who are you exactly?
That's what I mean. There's a lot of shit. There's a lot of shit.
The only thing most of these people are... Look, I understand if you got 10k followers, because then, or Ks of followers, because at some point it does start to become sort of they are fans, so maybe you do
a bit of a mini brand, basically.
Yeah, so you do maybe get the opportunity to get them to ask questions, but I just don't get it.
Honestly, I've seen a lot of people post up asking a question. And I've not actually asked anybody.
No, I did ask me a question. I didn't.
It was trolling though.
It was a statement.
It was That's the thing. Like I said, I don't.
But what I need to understand, you're not supposed to at these people asking you questions.
You've
been at every single fool that be asking you a question. Like at me, you're not supposed to at people.
You're not supposed to at people. But you're like, I just honestly, I don't give a shit about that feature for anything other than my fitness page. That's it. I don't really need it on any other page because I don't. Like I say, 200 people. The people that could ask me questions are probably all you know the answers.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, go.
Surely if it's the people that follow your PT page and they want to ask you a question, they'll just send you a DM.
Do you know what? Weirdly enough, no. I get.
What makes you feel like they will ask me a question?
Do you know what it is? Because a lot of people...
Do you think it's genuine, organic, or do you think, oh yeah, I've seen this feature, let me ask him a question? Do you know what I mean? Is it organic?
I think it's not. It won't be. Definitely won't be. But some people are very much like... You're scrolling through something and you double tap a like, and a lot of times you won't actually read what the post says. To be fair, I do tend to get
essays though.
It's the thing. I do tend. I've been a little bit short recently, but I do tend to get people kind of actually respond back like, yeah. So there's a degree of kind of like
don't agree with
back and forth there, but I think when you have the opportunity to say do a poll, for example, or ask the questions.
I think polls are fine.
People like to be more interactive with things, so they're more like it encourages them to actually kind of comment. So in that sense, I think it's a good thing. So if Instagram can hook me up properly, I don't understand what the fuck's going on. It's all on the same phone, so I don't see why I can't.
I just feel like with age, anyway, I've become less vain. I was much more vain when I was younger. But I just feel like society is becoming more and more self-absorbed.
Oh, 100%.
And you're asking total strangers that actually half of them, not you in particular, but in general, half of them are only following you because you're a piece of meat to them.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's nothing that they don't want to know. And a lot of the times, I'm reading these questions that people are asking and they're repetitive. They're the same thing over and over again. They want to know if you're single. I want to know if you're straight. I want to know if you're gay. I want to know.
Superficial shit.
It's like I can't be asked.
No, like I said, honestly, I agree with that. Like, everyone is so just involved in themselves, and they look for people that are like-minded.
Yeah.
To make them feel better about them the way they are.
Yeah. I'll tell you what I do give you props for. I do follow a lot of PT pages.
Yeah.
Or just people that like to keep fit, and they get a lot of followers by what is called gay baiting.
Okay.
Sort of posing in sort of suggestive manners where it's just going to get them a lot of followers.
Yeah.
That's what I will give you credit for. And a lot of these people that are asking them questions, it's dudes. You see all these, PT guys that have. If you actually take the time to see who's following them, it's all dudes. If you go through the comments, you're going to see very few girls, because girls aren't like that. They're not sleazy like that.
No,
it's going to be sort of dudes that it's kind of like. So I will give you credit for not sort of gay baiting, because they do it on purpose.
I'm sure people do, but like it's actually one of these funny things that like when I post up certain posts, obviously you get more followers from it. So realistically speaking, if I post up something like later on today, I might pick up 3 or 4 followers. Then they might drop off a little bit later on, but because kind of up and down, so it's kind of steadily going up and down. But I'm not like pushing it really hard because I don't want to go down that kind of road. And part of the thing is like if someone follows me, I'll check their profile. Yeah. And if it's a guy or a girl that's in fitness and every single one of their pictures is them shirtless posing or whatever, I'm like, why do I need to follow that? Yeah. You're not actually giving me any information. So like, I'll get another person follow me. I'll click on their page and it's like, oh, there's a video of an exercise there, or a video of this, or them talking about that. I'm like, yo, this is a person I'll follow. Yeah. Because I'm not following you to look at how good you look and then read some inspirational quote. I want to see something that I can take and learn from.
And that's the thing about a lot of these PTs, that all of a sudden they're fitness models or nonsense like that. Look, it's just, as I'm saying, they're part of the reason why I'm starting to hate social media. Because it's just, I scroll and it's just full of just narcissistic cunts.
Yeah. Do you know what? It might sound harsh, but yeah, it's like I say, it's one of those things that there's times that I'm kind of like, I can't be arsed with social media. Yeah. So the whole like just keeping up with the posts and whatever, because like I think we mentioned it before in here. You've got someone like myself, a couple of other guys that I know. I'm not putting myself on their level in terms of the knowledge that these guys have, and some women as well. Like but there's 2 guys in particular. I'll shout them out. You got Scott Swarfield, who's departed back to Canada now, and a guy called I think it's Carlos PT would be under. I'll double check it and maybe put it in the app or whatever. But these 2 guys know so much. Okay. It's ridiculous. You go on their pages, they might have 1,000 followers, 1,000, 2,000 followers. And they're giving you legitimate information that can help improve your quality of life and help you to reach a goal. Then you go and you see a guy who's clearly taken some kind of steroids, or a woman that's basically done some kind of extreme workout, had a whole bunch of plastic surgery done, and they've got 30, 40, 50,000 followers. And they're just either posing and taking a picture and saying, oh, today was leg day or whatever, or they post up a video of them working out to the most basic stuff.
And that's what I mean. That's what I mean about these people that are just baiting. Well, obviously, there's guys that are baiting girls, teenage girls, following whatever. So that's how they get. They're posting suggestive posts. Okay, you work out, you keep fit or whatever.
But if your level of knowledge isn't actually there, but because you look a certain way and you present yourself a certain way, people are going to flock to you and ignore the people that can actually give you what you need to know. Yeah. For me, it's a demotivation. Yeah. Because I'm like, why am I bothering to put out quality content when all I can do is spend the next 6 weeks properly hitting the gym and dieting and get myself looking a certain way, then every other picture I put up now can be topless and just hashtag shirtless or blah, blah, blah. And I'm just going to get how many followers?
Hashtag dickheads.
Something that I know you're giving me a little bit of heat for a while back, but like, generally speaking, I don't do the shirtless. I don't really do it. No. So it's
I don't know why there's a point to do it.
like I say, for me, before and after pictures.
Which is fine. So we can see sort of the progress, but you don't do before and after pictures every day.
No. Do you know what I'm saying? There's no after.
Before
Where was it before?
after
Where was it after? Like, before taking my phone out, or after taking my phone out. That's basically what it is. And I can't deal with it. So, yeah, it demotivates me at times, but then I feel like, you know what, the people that do follow me, and there's a few people that do follow me that I've interacted with a little bit here and there, and I can see that I've helped them in certain ways. Yeah. Even if it's in a minute way. And for me, it's like, you know what, that's why I'm here. If there's two people that feel like they've taken something from my post or it inspires them in some way, then cool. Fuck it.
Cool, brilliant. That's it, really.
Yeah.
We're talked out.
Yeah.
So that's it.
Yeah, back on it again.
Hopefully we will release something not too long after.
I think now it's a bit more into the summer.
Yeah.
More people away on holidays and so on, so I have more time.
We'll try and get a guest as well. Let's try and bring up Colombiana.
Yeah. We need to bring
cool. This has been Talk About It. Thank you for listening.
Yeah.